All right, yogis, if you could see behind the scenes today, you'd just be laughing. I think this is my 5th start to this practice. Holy Toledo. All right, so today we're focusing on the first 3 chakras of the body. So the root chakra, Muladhara, into the sacral chakra, the Svastikshana, if I can say that correctly, and then the 3rd chakra, Manipura, the solar plexus, right? So these 3 chakras are base, right? They cover a lot of our basic needs. It's the earth element, the water element, and the fire element. The root chakra is like I am grounded statement. I am secure. Right? These are our basic needs being met, fundamental needs being met. When that feels like it's in place, we feel secure in our space. Solar plexus comes up into that pelvic bowl. It's associated with the color yellow. It's water. It's masculine, feminine energy. It's creativity. It's emotion. So that is your ability to be able to experience your emotions in a healthy way, right? Allow yourself to be creative and move through your life in a way that supports you. And then solar plexus, right, as you come up to the belly, this is associated with the color yellow. It's the fire element because that is like that Anji, the fire within. That is our mission statement of life. You know, what is it that you believe strongly in, that you have fire behind? Those things that like really get you going, that you can't but help share with those around you. So we get really grounded. Then we move into our creativity and our emotional state, and we let that start to funnel up into these systems where it comes into then the solar plexus, where we're going to really start to formulate what are those things that we're passionate about and that we want to give some love and purpose and voice to. So that's what we're going to work on today. We're going to start in child's pose. So go ahead and take the knees wide, big toes touch. Just letting yourself get grounded into the mat and starting to plug into that Ujjayi breath of yours, letting it come in through the nose and out the nose. And just finding what length makes sense for you. Let yourself get heavy towards the mat, just feeling the connection, right? Our groundedness into this physical space that we're in. About to share our creativity and our practice. And notice as you move through the practice, what things really kind of spark your interest. Where does your will, your curiosity, where does that land? One more full breath in. And a full exhale. And then bringing yourself up onto hands and knees and starting to curl the toes under. Just bring yourself back into down dog. And as you find down dog, you might pedal a little bit. And if you're anything like me with the doggies around, noticing dog hair. All right, take the left leg, reach it up to the sky, turn your hip up, bend the knee, press the sole of the foot over, just finding some length. And then taking the left leg long as you press it behind, feel the internal rotation of your thigh, reaching long. Bring the knee in, squeeze it in towards the nose, just starting to build some heat, and then take it back. Bring it forward, rounding in. And then take it back. And then one more time, knee in towards the nose, really curling in, drawing in through the center, and then stepping left foot to the top. Just let it get nice and long. from here, we'll twist. I always like to bring this in the beginning just to get into all of the major muscle groups of the body before we move. So just this nice big twist. Nice and long through the right leg or right knee down, hand on the floor. So right hand on the floor or a block or a book, like whatever you have around you to help you have that space a little more connected and supported. Take a full breath in, and then releasing the hand down, step yourself back to down dog. Come forward to a high push-up plank pose. Lower yourself all the way down to the mat. Bringing the shoulders together, heart reaches forward, cobra pose, Bhujangasana. Take a nice full breath in. And then exhale, releasing down, pressing up and back. Take your right leg, reach it nice and long. Turn your hip up, bend the knee, press the sole of the foot over. And then taking your leg long, press back through the heel. So you're dropping the right hip in. You'll feel the internal rotation of the right thigh. You're going to feel the right head of the femur really connected into your hip joint. So you're not pushing out, pulling yourself out of the joint. You're reaching long, but you're staying supported. And then bring the knee in, let the body around, really draw in through the center, and then take the leg back long. 2 more of those, bringing the right knee in, rounding, and then kick it back. And then 1 more, bring the knee in, round, 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 and then step right foot to the top, low lunge. So as you sink into this space, you're nice and long through the left leg. You can always bring the left knee down. You can bring, a block under the left hand before you twist if you want to add that little extra height. And if you don't have blocks, there are, just use whatever you have around you, a water bottle, a candle, pillows, whatever, you might find. And then leaving the left hand connected or rooted into whatever you grabbed, go ahead and take the right arm, reach it up. Find a little more length as you reach through the left heel, through the crown of the head. Full breath in, and then bringing the right hand down, step yourself back, down dog. And then from down dog, waving forward to a high push-up, lowering all the way down to the mat. So the elbows are tied in, the hands press into the mat, and the shoulders wrap onto the spine as you reach the heart forward. Take 1 more full breath in. And then exhale, lower, pressing yourself up and back, down dog. All right, take your left leg, reach it nice and long behind. You're going to step through. We're going to come into warrior 1 right away. So just moving mindfully through these postures, finding your stability as you root in. So how long of a stance do you need? You can take a longer stance in warrior 1 or shorter stance. You are squaring yourself up to the top of the mat. So it's internal rotation of the thighs. So a shorter stance may be called for in your body if you don't have that availability in the hip flexors. And then really root down, through the right heel behind you. Find the outer edge of the foot a little bit more, and maybe even lift all 10 toes so that you find the sole of your foot as it roots into the mat. As you dig straight down through the left foot and you press long through the right, squeeze together. Feel how that starts to engage through the base of the pelvic rim, coming all the way up, and then let the arms reach up. Take 1 more full breath in. Drop the arms, interlace fingertips behind, and then take a little lay back, letting the heart float up, Been incorporating a lot of these in my practice just to open up through the chest and through the throat, these areas that we're really protecting these days. Maybe even a bit guarded with. Can you soften? Can you stand grounded, secure in this space, knowing that you have the foundation you need to allow yourself to explore the depth of this pose? And then bring yourself back through center. We'll move into humble warrior, letting yourself stay nice and long and tall. And then as you dive inside the left thigh, letting the arms come up off the back. Again, keeping this strong connection to your mat. That's the groundedness of this practice, connecting you back into your root chakra. Take one more full breath in. Bring yourself all the way up. And then let yourself open into warrior two. So you scooch it out a little longer. Maybe you sink in a little deeper. Allow yourself to notice, what does it feel like? What kind of muscle sensations do you have going on in the legs, through the core, through upper body, arms, hands, face even? And then with that, what kind of energetic quality is within those sensations? Do you feel a sense of lightness? Do you feel a sense of scared, tension, joy, laughter? And then go ahead and straighten through your left leg. So you're going to pull the left hip back. As you pull the hip forward, reach forward, coming into triangle, Trikonasana. So you can stay higher up, right? Better to stay higher up and open than to sink down and let your shoulders sink down, right? So you want to stay open to the wall in front of you. Create as much length as you can from the top of the left hip and the bottom of your left ribs. Right, so just keeping yourself long. Feel your connection to the mat. Let that stability, that grounding in your body, let that be what holds you in this moment, that gives you that sense of security, that allows you to feel safe, to start to explore what within the pose would you like to see different. Do you want to take it deeper? Do you want to find more freedom in it? Do you want to play around with, as you're in it, how your mind operates? You know, like, where does it go? Does it bring in some lightness and joy? Do you disassociate and kind of go off into whatever your next to-do is for the day? Take one more full breath in and a full exhale. Bring yourself all the way up to stand and then turn the toes in, right? So now your toes are slightly in, the heels are slightly out. Catch the hips, send the heart up. You can let the shoulders come together, you can let the gaze come up if that's good. And then nice and slow, I soften into the knees as they start to come forward, and then let yourself fold forward. As the crown of the head comes down to the mat, the hands can come down. Maybe you start to walk them through the feet. You can take it a little deeper. All right, walk your hands through. You're going to walk up to the back of the mat now. So you're going to spin around so that the right foot is in front. Your left leg is along behind. You're going to root into that foundation. You can bring the arms alongside the body so you almost create like this little airplane in the body reaching through the heart. And then really feeling the connection of your feet to the mat. Let yourself come up and then arms will reach up. As you settle in, find the whole sole of both feet. Right, it's really easy to start to, especially in the left foot, to start to come into the ball of the foot and grab with the toes. So I encourage you to try to find your heel in the outer edge of the left foot a bit more, like that pinky toe side, so you can feel the arch of the foot lift. And as you press down solid through your right foot, feel the big and little toe come in, the inner and outer edge of your heels, little lift in the arch. And as both feet sink into the mat, draw them together so you engage a bit more through the legs, feel the abductors turn on, and then more core engagement as you reach up and out of this pose. Follow the rhythm of the breath. And as we move from posture to posture, grounding into your foundation. With each posture, building a little more heat inside so that you can start to see, where is the burning desire? What is it that really lights you up? When you start to talk about it, you start to talk maybe a little faster, you get a smile on your face, your eyes start to twinkle. And then drop the arms, interlace fingertips behind. As the shoulders rock in and you start to lift the heart, I always drop the chin in first just to set the cervical spine, and then nice and slow as the chest starts to lift, my gaze comes up and behind me. And then as you feel how secure your foundation is with your feet rooted into the mat and the strength that you're bringing up through, can you allow yourself to explore the pose a bit, to maybe dip back a bit more, to soften so that the heart can open, so that the throat can open. And then bringing yourself up through center. Not too fast. And then start to come forward, folding inside. And as you come forward into humble warrior, you're grounded into the feet. You're bowing through the heart and the head, right? Surrendering into the space. Creating a little sense of humility. And then bring yourself all the way up. As you release, you're going to open into Warrior Two. So you'll scooch it out a little longer. And let yourself sink in. Once again, just tapping in to your base, connecting into the mat. Let that be the tool to help you find a little security with where you are in this practice, in this moment. And maybe you'll take that with you as you move throughout your day, feeling your feet, acknowledging your surroundings, knowing that where you are secure. All right, coming into your side angle, right forearm onto your thigh, left arm reaching up. And as I come into this, I can't remember if we did this on the other side, so I apologize if we did not. I don't have my class to remind me that's not where we went. Get a little longer. And I probably did add it in as I reflect. All right, come up, straighten through your right leg, Bring yourself forward, nice and long. Finding the length again from the top of the right hip to the bottom of your right ribs. Gaze can follow its way all the way up to your lifted left hand. Take one more full breath in, and a full exhale. And then bring yourself up, coming back into straddle, turning the right toes in, getting nice and tall, catching the hips, send the heart up, full breath in. And then exhale, soften in the knees as you come forward into your forward fold. Walk the hands out in front of you. You're going to walk up to the top of the mat as you spin around into a low lunge and then step yourself back, down dog. Take a nice full breath in and a full exhale. Full breath in and a full exhale. Taking your left leg, reach it long behind you, and then stepping the left shin forward, moving our way into half pigeon. So you can keep your left foot closer into your body. That's going to be more of a modification. If the left hip can't rest on the floor, bringing a bolster, a block, couch pillows, blanket, whatever you have available to you, bringing that under the left hip. Your right leg's nice and long behind, and as you look behind, you should be able to press the tops of the toenails down into the mat. And then as you find your length, really let yourself lift up, send the heart up. Maybe let the head come back a bit. You'll feel that length into the right hip flexor. One more full breath in. And then start to walk yourself forward. Maybe you stay here up onto forearms, staying a little taller. Or maybe you start to walk them out in front of you, letting yourself sink in a little deeper. You can create, you can stack your fists on top of one another so you can rest your forehead there. If it's good for you to bring your forehead all the way down to the mat, go ahead and go there. And then let yourself drop in right as we start to come into the sacral chakra. As we start to move into the hips and the pelvic bowl. Remember your groundedness that we worked through with that little flow, right? Like just really feeling your connection to the mat. And as you're here, notice whatever's connected to the mat through the shin, or if your left sit bone's connected onto a block or a pillow, like notice that support. When we feel our support, we can start to surrender into that space of allowing ourselves to see our emotion, allowing ourselves to just really experience what shows up in this moment. One more full breath in, and a full exhale. And then bring yourself up onto long arms and start to walk the hands over to the left. So you're turning over the leg that's out in front of you, and then start to walk yourself down. So here it might be helpful to have a pillow or block, or creating a little pillow with the hands, the little stacking of the fists. And bringing yourself back through center, you can stay here, or you can start to bring your left foot maybe so that the shin comes a little more parallel to the top of the mat. And then you're going to start to walk yourself over to the right. Now you might just stay upright here. If you can and you want to give it a go, you're going to bring your left elbow to the inside of the left foot, kind of onto the mat. And then prayer hands as you start to spin shoulder over shoulder. Bring yourself back to center. Go ahead and curl the right toes under and step yourself back to down dog. Give a nice little lift, open. All right, then taking your right leg, reach it nice and long. You're gonna feed the right shin through, left leg long behind you. And once again, just taking that time to set up. So bringing in, maybe you didn't need a block or a pillow on the other side, but you do for this side. So feeding that under the left sit bone, nice and long through the left leg. And you can take that peek back and make sure you're pressing in through the tops of the toenails. And then walk the hands back a little bit and just really lift up and out. You know, a lot of times when we come into half pigeon, we're quick to fold forward to collapse into it. So take this few breaths here just to sink into this back bend a bit, letting yourself open through the hip flexor. Maybe the gaze comes out. And then, nice and slow, start to walk yourself forward. Welcoming in whatever props you might like, staying up on forearms, bringing in blocks for forehead, or creating, you know, like those little pillow piles with your hands or fists. Letting yourself drop in. And as you drop in, again, just each time we'll reconnect to the foundation of the pose, really feeling yourself connected into the mat, sensing that support so that you can play a bit with letting go, so that you can play a bit with swimming around and seeing, okay, when I lay in this, like physically, I feel this through, you know, maybe through the right hamstring and into the glute, maybe the outer hip. And just identifying with whatever that sensation is. If it's a light tug, if it feels pretty intense, maybe you need to come up a bit. Let this practice not only be that physical practice that allows you to move and strengthen and gain flexibility in your body, but a practice to notice what goes on the inside. What kind of internal dialogue do you carry with you? That determines our health just as much as taking care of this physical container, if not more, right? You know, I forget the number, it's fairly high, it's above 80%, I believe, of our illnesses are psychosomatic. I mean, you can think of just indigestion as one of those, right? Our ability to really process our foods and that gut feeling. All right, and so bring yourself up onto the long arms. You're going to walk yourself now over to the right. So you're going to come over the right thigh, and then again, if you want to block to rest the forehead on, pillow, create a pile with the hands. Then go ahead and bring yourself up and back into center. And you might just come back down if this next pose doesn't work for you and just kind of surrender into half pigeon a bit more. If you want to move into this twist with me, I walk my right shin out just a little bit more away from my body so it's coming a little more parallel to the top of the mat. And then walking yourself over to the left, bringing your right elbow down, hands connecting into prayer, and then using that leverage to help twist you open. Now, continue to reach through the heart and stay as long as possible in your body. A lot of times when we're trying something new, we'll try to curl in a bit to make it more accessible, and so I'd rather you stay long than curl in. All right, bring yourself back through center. Go ahead and curl the back toes under, step yourself back to down dog, give a little pedal into the knees. Notice how that feels. Then gaze to the hands, walk your feet through, and as you come through, the legs will be long out in front of you, taking your right foot folded in. So you're going to be nice and long through the left leg. And then from here, start to lean into it. So a lot of times we come forward, straight forward. This time we're going to do more of like a coming into it through the side. So left hand can follow its way down towards the foot. And then let yourself start to turn the right shoulder up so that you're coming long. You're going to feel this, you know, for me, I feel this in my QL into my lower back here. Now, you can stay right here, keeping yourself open. You can start to lift the right arm up and maybe you reach overhead for the toes. Bring yourself all the way up. Now we'll take it where you're going to turn over the left thigh, plug it into the sit bones, little blanket or pillow if you need under, and then start to come forward. Stay nice and long as you reach down. All right, bring yourself all the way up. And then then from here, oh, can you still hear me? All right, I don't know if my mic is still working or not. Something seems goofy, so hopefully you can still hear me. I'll talk a little louder. Go ahead and switch over to the other side. And from here, right leg long, left foot folds in. And then instead of coming forward and down right away, we're gonna turn to the side. Let the right arm follow, grabbing hold of the right foot, lifting your left shoulder up. Maybe taking the arm overhead, lifting, reaching. Right, bring yourself all the way up, and then as you come up, you're gonna get yourself square over the right leg. Stay nice and long. Bring yourself forward and down, folding forward. And then go ahead and bring yourself up. As you find your way up, take both legs long out in front of you. And then folding the right knee up. Give yourself a nice squeeze so you stay nice and tall. And then you're going to use the left hand to support. Right hand's going to come behind, find a little twist. These little twists, they get into all of that center area that I was talking about, right? It gets into the solar plexus. It gets into the fire, the belly. Take one more full breath in, and then bring yourself around, counter pose. Left hand comes behind, keeping you nice and tall. And then coming back through center, both legs long, left leg's gonna come in. Give yourself that little squeeze so you can stay upright. Right arm is gonna give you that support. Left hand behind to keep the spine nice and tall. Keep rooting in through the right leg. So you're pressing down long, feel the sit bones plug in, lift up long through the torso, and then give that squeeze. Drop in into the belly. Like notice, feel that. What does it feel like when you give that twist to the midsection? Where do you feel the restriction? Can you see that as a little squeeze, like that little hug of love within? One more full breath in, and then bring yourself back through center, taking that counter twist, right arm behind, left arm comes inside the right leg. As you stay tall, look over the right shoulder. Right, back through center. And then taking the arms out in front of you, this little roll down, Just really plugging in again to the core, into the center of the body, creating that heat, that fire. You get to that spot where the belly feels hollow and the feet come up just a bit up off the floor. Let the hands reach down towards the feet, really ignite, really draw in through center. And then lowering, coming all the way down. Bring the knees in, give them a nice little squeeze. And then both legs, reach them up to the sky. Interlace fingertips behind the head. Lift the head and shoulders up off of the mat. Lowering your right leg inches off the floor. Left leg's going to stay lifted. Little pulses lifting your heart up to the sky. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Switch legs. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Switch. 4, 3, 2, 1. Switch. 4, 3, 2, 1. Switch. 3, 2, 1. Switch. 3, 2, 1. Switch. 2, 1. Switch. 2, 1. Switch. Now we're just going to switch it up. Count of 10. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. Bring the knees in. Give yourself a nice little squeeze. Little circles one way and then the other. And then take the arms out to a T. Let the knees drop over to the left. Take the gaze to your right. Bring yourself back through center. Let the knees drop over to the right, gaze to the left. And then come back through center one last time. Give yourself a nice little squeeze. And then let yourself open up into Shavasana. Final rest, letting the arms come out long, legs come out long. Let your eyes close. Let yourself feel the support of the floor beneath you. Allow yourself to let go of whatever came up for you in this practice. It is our attachment that creates our suffering. And so if you can lessen the attachment to the way this practice is or the outcomes that you want, and allow yourself to settle in and experience what is in this moment, you will find more peace and more joy. Now, saying that doesn't necessarily make it easy. It is a constant learning experience and challenge for me. And sometimes I'm really good and sometimes I'm not. So we have to learn to be kind with ourselves. Go ahead and start to welcome in a deeper breath. Take the arms long overhead, legs long out in front of you. Just welcome that length back in. And then bringing the knees in towards your heart. Letting yourself rock off to the right side and then bringing yourself up to a seated position. As you Find your comfortable seat. Bring hands to heart center. Let your eyes close. Take a full breath in and a full exhale. Full breath in and a full exhale. Inhale, drawing your thumb knuckles up to your forehead, elbows wide, huge smile on your face and light in your heart. Inhale. Exhale, bow forward. Namaste. Thank you so much, yogis, for joining us through this difficult time. We are truly grateful that you spend a little bit of time moving your body with us. Stay tuned. We will continue to add classes and find ways to add different things out there for you to explore. From my heart to yours, please be well. Namaste.